What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily cope video. That's right, that's what we're calling it now, the daily cope video. And today we got two new games. That's right, Pokemon Red, I think he played. And then on the night stream, it was Rewind Video Store Job Simulator. That's right, where DSP actually did a game where he simulated actually having a real job. And you could just see the uncomfort. You could see Phil was completely uncomfort actually having to do some real work. And worst of all, didn't hit the support goal. That's right. Nope, Rewind or Indie Night did not save the business. Our boy Phil barely got to $100. It was one dent, one furry dent. Yes, another furry in the house came in and dropped some support and got Phil to $100. But if it wasn't for that one thing, person, whatever, they, them, him, Zerg, whatever pronoun he wants to use, Phil would have probably made like $20. So let's see what Phil had to say on the daily wrap. By the way, shout out to Sunny 3.0 for his amazing edits. And of course, we know the birthday is going to be coming up in about a week and a half. So yeah, enjoy the video.
Here on DSP Gaming. 2 new playthroughs that I was very excited to start, and people were eager to attend. So let's talk all about it. First off, today we started with a chill morning show. Nothing super particular to talk about, besides the fact that we did have 2 new games coming out today, or being in the rotation today, I should say. They're not brand new releases. One came out a week ago, one came out like 3 weeks ago. But I was excited to try both of them on the stream and see how they worked. We had a good Q&A, good interaction. Overall, the morning show was chill and fun. And I really enjoyed hanging out with everyone for about an hour. And then after the morning show, we jumped into the premiere of Pokemon Fire Red. Now, I had never played Pokemon Fire Red before. I didn't know exactly what to expect. I was pleasantly surprised. Here's why. Number one, I got some use out of my new Pokemon controller for the Switch 2 from Power Egg. Love it. Controller's comfy, lightweight, has a long battery life. I don't even think I'll need to charge it for a while, to be honest. Like, it seems to have a really good battery. So, I had an absolutely great time in the game. The graphics are Game Boy Advance graphics rather than Game Boy graphics. The music is redone and remixed for the Game Boy Advance, so it sounds really good. It's like the classic Pokemon themes, but like remixed, and they sound a little better. Gameplay elements, just how I remember them. Like, this game is more challenging than future Pokemons. You don't get to auto-heal. You don't get to swap Pokemon in and out all the time. You have to go back to the Poke Center in order to do so, because you need to interact with the PC. You need to have items with you, because, man, if you get poisoned, it hurts you outside of combat in this game. There's just a lot of things that make it a harder game than modern Pokemon. But that's fine. Like, I'm used to it. You know, I played original Pokemon back in the day, so no complaints here. I knew what to expect. The chat was awesome. The viewers engaged and interacted with me, helping me with the elements of the game all day long, which was really cool. Yes, people did actually contribute to name Pokemon, which we now have many Pokemon named in the party already. And the thing about this game is the leveling is slow. Unlike other Pokemon games where everyone levels at once, in this game, they don't. They individually need to be leveled until later on, when apparently you'll get an item that will let you do the group experience share. So because of that, you got to be strategic about who you start a fight with, who you swap to, etc. And actually, it's fun. It's more interesting and challenging because of that. I wish the more modern Pokemon games were more challenging in that regard. They're just not. They're actually way more simple. So we had a great time. We actually went through the entire intro, catching a whole bunch of Pokemon along the way. Went to the first gym, beat Brock at the first gym, and we were heading on to the next city. I think it's Cerulean City is the second city. And we were on the way, and we were fighting a whole bunch.
Okay, all right. I need to stop it, because I'm not going to lie. I've given my thoughts on Pokemon games, just not my thing. I find them to be pretty boring. I know a lot of people like them. That's all good. It's not that's not the big deal. The problem is his playthrough. And I actually did say to myself, let me give it a shot. Let me try to understand why people like Pokemon. And that was a big mistake. Watching DSP play Pokemon was just god-awful. Just terrible. My God. Why does he make every game so boring? Like, I was falling asleep. It was in the afternoon. I had a great night's sleep the night before. I was very energetic. And I'm sitting here watching it, doing some other things. And I'm literally falling asleep watching his boring-ass playthrough. God, he makes everything so boring. And I don't know what it is, but I guess the children's game brings out all the dents. That's right, Princess Luna was in the house dropping money to name her Pokemon, and God. Another gimmick here where Phil charges you $20 to name an NFT. That's right, $20. And you gotta name it, you gotta drop that 20 every playthrough, because you never know when you might lose your Pokemon, because Phil, of course, has to get another $20 and may rename another Pokemon. Just insanity, man. And yeah, he got support. He got $200 or something like that. Apparently, again, just a children's entertainer. And it's always funny because every time he plays Pokemon, you get all the weirdos that come out. Just all the weirdos. The furries. Just the other weirdos that come out. Dropping support, just spazzing out. You would have thought there were like 20 different Dereks in the chat. Just spamming nonsense, telling Phil what to do. Again, no one gives a shit. No one cares. God. Man. I don't know what's more offensive. His playthrough or the mere fact that he actually charges $20 to name a worthless NFT? I'm not sure which one is worse. You know what? I'm going to flip a coin. They're both bad. Good God, man. Man. All right, let's keep going, because I could be on this subject for another 20 minutes ranting at this denhead over here. All right, let's see what else he has to say. I'm sure he's going to talk about feasting with the pig after that, which, yeah, that more great content there, Phil.
To trainers catching Pokemon, and we ran out of time. So around 3 hours of Pokemon Fire Red today. Attendance was outstanding. Over 300 people on YouTube and over 100 on Kick. It was actually really well-attended stream. Support also was outstanding. I have absolutely no complaints. To be honest, it was super fun, and I can't wait to play Pokemon again later this week. It worked really well. I actually think this worked for two reasons. There's just people who like my Pokemon gameplay, but this game is incredibly nostalgic for a lot of people. So it's a combination of both. I mean, I've never played this. I've only played Blue. So to see this more modernized version, really cool. And everyone really had a great time, including me. So I can't wait for more later this week, coming up on Thursday, okay? Tonight's late stream was a question mark. I didn't know if what we played tonight was going to work.
And the other thing, real quick, is he has the nerve to talk about Pokemon as a hard game. No, it isn't. Pokemon's one of the easiest games. Easiest fucking games. I played maybe one game, Pokemon, and they're all pretty much fucking same. I'm pretty sure I could fire up a Pokemon game and play it and beat it quite easily. So, Phil, don't sit here and act like, oh, it's tough. It's a very meaningful, hard game. It isn't, okay? It's Disney Princess, all right? But Japanese-style Disney Princess.
Tried a game called Retro Rewind. It is an indie game that is a video store simulator. What does that mean? It allows you to simulate a VHS rental store in the 1990s. So first you design the looks of your store. Then you purchase some video cassettes. You set up your store, and you start renting movies. You have to bring them in after people return them and rewind them and repackage them and put them back on the shelves. You have to categorize them properly per the genre. When new releases are available, you have to buy them, and you have to put them in a special area to advertise them so more people will rent them because you make bonus money on them. You have to purchase new movies so you have more stock. You then have to increase your storage capacity, so buy more shelving and expand your store. You have to put advertisements up that attract people to certain movies. You have to add...
Why does he have to be so autistic? Phil, everyone knows what a video game store rental simulator game is, okay? Everyone older than, say, 12 knows what a video store rental place is. Everyone understands the mechanic of a store. When you own a store, what you need to do to get merchandise, sell merchandise, advertise merchandise, marketing. What people understand that, Phil. Even the dentiest of the dent, okay, understand how the playthrough is. You don't have to spend 3 minutes explaining the mechanics of this game. We understand, Phil. Most people understand. It's in the title, and if you don't understand what the game is based on the title, you're one of these regarded individuals. Okay? Good God! But of course, he has to explain everything in autistic detail because he needs an 11-minute video for I don't know. I guess to torture me because I had to go through this nonsense for 11 minutes to see what is it. Pick out the gold from the bag of diarrhea that he's giving me. Thanks, Phil. I appreciate that.
New genres of movies. There's a black market of a guy who shows up in an alleyway behind the store that sells you movies. Sometimes the bad kind, but hey, it's more money for your store.
The bad kind. You mean the prawn, Phil? What you watch clearly all the time? The kind that you watch on May 1st, huh, Phil? Don't act like you're sitting here, you don't know what it is. I'm pretty positive you probably watch it on the daily, okay? I'm sure if we watch your search history, we'll see some page 5 up in there, alright? So don't act all like, oh, the bad kind. God. Then he wonders why people call him a children's entertainer. Because he does crap like this. Again, Phil, you're not, you probably people probably think so. You probably believe that, most of your viewers are 12 years old, and I get it. So I guess you don't want to, be seen as promoting, X-rated movies on your stream, brother. But good God, man. God, and a lot of it is he's worried that Cat's listening. That's what it is. Cat, any talk of sexuality or sex on Phil's stream will get Phil a beating. So that's why you can't talk about anything adult related.
So, yeah, the game is actually quite interesting. By the end of the night, I had unlocked the slushie machine, and I was making drinks for people while also checking them out, while stocking the shelves, while bringing in new movies, while handing out flyers. It got really interesting. It did. So how did the stream go? Attendance was not bad at all.
By the way, I think that was a pretty good game for you, especially it gave you some real world training for when you hit bankruptcy 2.0. When the streaming career fails eventually and you need to go get a job, I think that game right there actually gave you some valuable skills. So I think you can take what you learn, even though there's no video rental places anymore. You can still apply those skills anywhere else, McDonald's, Walmart, or whatever. The same skills apply. Okay, you just replace, I don't know, videos with Walmart furniture merchandise. Okay.
I think we had over 200 on YouTube pretty much the whole night. We had a decent crowd on Kick. I think like 80 engagement. For the most part, people were engaged. They were talking with me. They were hanging out, having a good time. Support wasn't the best night ever. Wasn't the worst night ever. Was kind of in the middle. All right. However, a couple weird things. Number one, I only received $3 in tips, particularly.
Oh, my Lord. It's so weird.
No tips at all. It's weird when you don't get a share between all the methods of contribution. And this was just an odd night where it was all super chats and some memberships and no tips, almost no tips at all. Like bizarre, okay? On the Kick side of things, only 2 subs and 1 person sent some kicks, and that was it. Yeah, this week on Kick has actually been legit the worst week for support I've ever had on Kick.
Okay, Phil say this every week. Oh, this week has been the worst supported Kick stream. All right, real quick, you want to know why he brought up the whole tips thing again? He brought that up and made it a big deal. Is because Kick is dead. If it isn't your future stepdad or that other idiot Lance Catamaran, he's not getting any support. And I'm assuming that 220, those gifted subs that he's dropping, what he's probably doing there, he's probably charging those back, and they're very easy to charge back. My guess is he's charging them back. The troll names is just for him to get a rise out of Phil at that moment, and then he charges them back. It's very easy to do it. And the other thing too, that Kick is a little different because the Kick actually has a third party vendor that does their they essentially have PayPal to do all of their collecting of their money. You know what I mean? So if you want to buy, a sub or whatever, it goes through what's called Stripe, which is a third party payer. They charge you per chargeback. So if you dispute a chargeback, they charge you $15. They do. I think if you lose, they charge you $15 per transaction. So every time someone actually does a sub, does a chargeback, and you dispute it, they charge you $15 for it. So I'm pretty sure that's what's going on, and that's probably why he's been raging out lately on 220 dropping those gifted subs and him not being able to stop him, because I have a feeling he is whatchamacallit. Because if he was just giving him the money and not charging them back, Phil would constantly bring it up and say, "Oh, you're an idiot for giving me money. You're an idiot for giving me money." He's not saying that. He's not saying that at all, and he's not even including it in the total, which he was doing. Remember, he was doing that when 220 was dropping subs. He was adding it to the total and saying, "Thanks for the money, dummies." He's not doing that anymore. So I think that's why he's a bit in a panic for both the Kick subscription, the Kick, people giving him kicks because they're not, and also the tips, because the tips have dried up quite a bit for Phil. I mean, ever since Hayes, whatever, came in and gave him that $300 tip, that's kind of been it for Phil. He gets $1 here, $2 here tips, but it's not that much. Today, I think during the Pokemon stream, he ended up getting maybe 2 tips, You know, he got one for $22 and then something else for like $2. And that was it. So that's why he's a bit in a panic, because he knows once Kick completely dries up and tips dry up, his liquidity is going to be screwed. Because let's remember this. The Kick check comes in every week. So if he's not getting a lot of tip money, but he's still getting a good decent amount of kicks, then he's fine. He gets that weekly check. He's okay, you know, to pay for his WWE champions and his liquor and everything, right? And his DoorDash. But if Kick dries up and tips dry up, he's screwed, because all of the new people that have come in through the about year and a half that have been supporting Phil, they pay him via subs. YouTube super chats are his biggest payment method now. Most people that give him money do it through the YouTube system, either through a membership or a super chat, and YouTube take 30% right off the bat from that, you know, versus PayPal, which is a very small fee, and Kick, which is what, 5%. You know, out of every $5 he gets for his subs, you know, he makes about $4.75 or whatever. So literally he makes $5. So I think that's why he's panicking here, folks. And we're gonna hear more of it. You know, that's why we had that rant yesterday about Kick not supporting. And he literally said that he wouldn't mind or would tolerate the trolling and essentially allow people to make fun of his fat wife if they support it. He literally said that. Now, he didn't say make fun of his fat wife, but that's what most people do on the Kick site. They make fun of his big obese wife. So, you know, it sounded like he was saying, look, you know, I know you're going to troll, but if you give me money, then I'll look the other way when you call my wife a fat horse, okay? That's essentially what he said here. So anyway, we'll keep an eye on it. And of course, we always look at the weekly totals to see what comes out every week. Big ups to Jay Gannon over on Twitter. It's a very useful tool, so we'll be tracking it. I mean, he's not going to have that $1,100 that he got last week on that Monday because of Jay. So it should be interesting how much of a decrease he has this week. We already know Kick is fucked because he has what? Today is the last day for Kick subs that can apply for this check. So the check he gets on Friday, today is the last day. So you know he's going to make a huge push today for Kick subs. He's going to be like, look, if you could tip me, if you could do whatever, just give me a Kick sub. Give me a Kick sub. I got to get those numbers up. And, you know, you'll get the useful idiots like, you know, Lance Catamaran and your future stepdad or whoever. They'll come in and try their best to donate to Phil, but it's going to be difficult climbing that mountain, especially since he's pretty low. I mean, I think somewhere I was looking at, he got about $200 this week from Kick alone. Man, that's bad. That is bad. And you got to remember, when he first started on Kick, he was making $5-6 grand a month. And barely cracking a couple $100 a month is rough for Phil. Anyway, I'm going to end it here, folks. I ran a little long. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out, everyone.